So hi everyone, welcome back to Jai After Hours. I'm IDR Jas and Ancheta.
And I'm Architect Andi, and today we'll be talking about the things that we see in bathrooms that are flaws and our pet peeves about it. And of course, we'll give solutions.
So for our first segment, this is a lot of things that we really notice because it's public restrooms. So when you go to the mall, what do you see? What are the things that designers or people who really design for malls and public spaces, what should they consider?
Yep, and our first pet peeve is the layout. And for me specifically, this is the bathroom in where it's shared with males and females. The one with urinal, the toilet, and the sink. But for me, the specific pet peeve I have, it's when the toilet seat is facing the urinal.
Yes, because you're practically like, the
Your
toilet isn't that big, and then it's like, your face is
your face is
just
right
like
on here.
practically, it's practically in front of you. So of course, one, it's not hygienic, obviously, and then second, it's like you smell it.
Yes, I can smell the urinal.
Personally, I wouldn't get those. I think, what do you call that? No flush urinals, or little flush. I still think water would still be. I know it's supposed to be all about conservation, conserving water. However, again, at the end of the day, I think hygiene is more important, right? You can still get less water type of urinals that doesn't use as much water, but at least it cleanses it every time somebody uses it. Especially for public urinals, it's something that is used by a lot of people. So that's one of our the things that we
Yeah,
notice.
one thing about layouts. And then another thing about layout is that one thing we notice is when the door is directly where you can see someone inside. So
Yes.
yes.
Mm.
So it really disrupts your privacy of one person or whoever's inside.
Right. So in terms of materials, you better make sure that you don't use glass at all,
Yes.
because again, privacy issues, right? I mean, you don't want people, seeing even your silhouette while
Mm-mm.
you're using the bathroom, right?
Yep.
So this goes with hotel rooms, which we've seen a lot of. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know, if it's a design trend or something they think that is what looks cool.
Yes.
However, again, even if you're with family, right? I mean, you're close, but not that close. So
Mm-mm.
so keep the privacy in bathrooms. So use opaque materials, regular, concrete, CHB, or what have you.
Or we could just simply switch the toilets and sinks. Like where you open the door, the first thing you're not gonna see is at least the toilet seat.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the things I also noticed, I know it's lack of space. Maybe better planning is when you go inside the cubicle. Like you have several
Mm-mm.
cubicles, and then you open the door of the cubicle, and then when you get there, there's hardly any space. It's already the toilet. So you don't want to touch the
Yeah.
bowl, right? So, a little more space, or maybe if there is swing outdoors,
Mm.
doors that instead of going into the cubicle swings out, so that at least you have enough space to be comfortable going inside.
Yeah, so I guess another thing about layout, it's when, well, in particular with public restrooms, is when the main door out to inside, there's like, usually they put another wall, and then you go left or right.
Right. So there's like some
Yeah, some
privacy.
sort of partition
Correct.
where you're not seen, where someone is not seen. away, right away.
Right, right. So it's placement also
Yes.
of your restrooms, whether it's a mall or maybe a
Your
restaurant,
or
right?
even your small
Of course, yeah.
bathrooms.
Of course, in your homes as well, you want to be sure, especially let's say it's a living room. I actually have the same layout, which is not good at all. I mean, if I had to renovate, I would. The public uh, areas, the common areas, basically should be separate from
Mm-mm.
private areas, and especially for toilets. Even though let's say it's a powder room, you can like create a hallway maybe, or reposition the door so that it
Mm.
doesn't face other um, rooms
Mm-mm.
that can easily you can see people inside. Yeah.
So I think our takeaway for this first pet peeve is that we should consider our layout should be consider accordingly one, comfort,
Right.
hygiene, and privacy.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so second one is sink struggles.
Oh, yes. I've seen a lot of this. Okay, there are a lot of sinks. So there are three types of sinks. There's one that's called undermount. That means on your counter, the sink is below, you don't see anything above the counter, so it's below.
Mm.
That's called undermount. And then there's the counter type of sink. So that means it can be like on the counter itself, or there's some that's like semi recessed, meaning to say you see a portion of the sink going above the counter, like probably 2 inches, 3 inches, not that high. And then the sink goes below. So you have a little, elevation there.
Mm.
And then the last one is like I mentioned rather earlier, is the vessel or the counter type sink. And that usually is higher, like I don't know, 2, 3, 4 inches, I think, and more. So, one of the reasons why we're telling you about sinks is because, along with the sink, you'd have to also consider the faucet that you're going to use. Because,
Yeah.
together with these, depending on which one you're getting, so undermount, semi recessed, or above the counter, vessel type of sinks, you would have different faucets to go with it. And why? Because there's issue of splashing. There's also an issue of, around the counter, it's harder to clean.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also an issue of making sure you're able to maintain, the sink area. And there are some who actually do not like the vessel sink, even though it looks good, because it's hard to clean underneath.
Mm.
So again, it would depend on you. We're not saying you don't use it. We're just saying that you have to consider all of these.
Yeah.
So I've seen some sinks, unfortunately, from even popular brands that are, those spa-like sink that is practically like I think an inch. So there's hardly any, like, if the faucet is open, definitely there will be splashes of water going around. And I've seen even, faucet coming from the ceiling going down to the sink. And this is used in a restaurant. Looks cool, but again, the splashing is always a problem. So you have to be able to pair both the sink and the faucet properly.
Okay.
So maybe talking about that. So what is the proper way to do it? If you have an undermount sink, get a faucet that's lower, the regular faucet. So there are different types of faucet. There's usually one that is very ergonomic, is usually one that only has one handle, right? Because if you use two hands, right, and if your other hand is dirty, it's hard to, like, open it. Although the
Mm-hmm.
traditional types of faucets have two mixers. So the left side is for the hot, and then the right side is for the cold. Again, it would depend on what type of design that you're using. So that's one. And then second is for the semi-recessed, we usually go for a higher type of faucet. And you have to look also at how, so for those that are semi-recessed, since it's a little above the counter, you have to make sure that projection of the faucet. That means where the water comes out from the stem or the shouldn't be too short, because you don't want the water to be splashing on the edge of the counter, because I've seen a lot of those and I've also experienced it. So yes, and then the last one is the above the counter, the vessel sink. Definitely use a tall one,
Mm-mm.
because again, the short won't work, right? So you use a tall one. Never use a tall faucet for an undermount sink, even though it's undermount, since the difference of height where the water comes out from the spout to the bottom of the sink is very high, and then you wash your hands, right, so it's really gonna splash. So I hope that helps.
Okay, so my takeaway from this is that when choosing a combination for faucets and
Mm-hmm.
sinks, we should really consider the depth, the scale of the faucet and the sink.
Right.
Yeah. And how we use these sinks also. How we intend to use them.
Yes, and the counter space or the
Oh,
lack of it. So
what do we
that's one of
mean? What do you mean?
so okay, there are different again different kinds of sink. If you have a sink with a countertop, that means you have a little space to put your
Okay.
toiletries on, right? But there are also those that are just like pedestal type of sink. You don't have any countertop at all,
Okay.
and those are usually used for, let's say, powder rooms, because you don't need really a lot of you don't put a lot of things to on the counter. How where do you put your soap for that? Usually you have like a ledge, or let's say a small shelf beside it. So there are a lot of ways to do that. So you can still use pedestal sinks, but I don't really advise that to use that in your bedrooms, right? Because again, you have toiletries, and you would need counter space to put your toiletries on. And of course, hopefully you have, let's say, a mirror cabinet where you can
Mm.
put other things in. But then it's going to be something you use every day, right? At least what, twice a day, or even more. So you need, yeah, as much as you can, add some counter space.
Okay. So next, bathroom flaw is shower and faucet issues.
Hmm.
Okay, so what issues are we talking about? So first one is the confusing controls.
Okay, I'm experienced that.
Just but that varies per brand even.
Yes, actually, the norm is really left is for hot and right is for cold.
Mm-mm.
So I guess you have to check with the supplier. So there's a lot now coming, and sometimes I don't know why they like reorient it, or some reason I don't know.
Well, it takes some time to figure out these things once you're in the bathroom.
Right.
And then what else?
Poor placement of controls. So meaning, so this can be for both the shower and also your sink. So whether it's a regular bathroom sink, or it's, let's say, kitchen sink, the distance between where you put the faucet away from the sink should be there's no like standard in a way, because different faucets have different projections. So
Mhm.
you'd have to just make sure that the spout of the faucet does not, for sinks, it's not at the edge of your sink. It has to be like, go in the, not necessarily the middle, but more towards the inside of the sink,
Mm.
so that you don't have splashes like on the edge. It creates splashes. And same for showers. Normally what we really do is put the mixers, that's like the
Mm-mm.
levers and how you open it, right below the shower. But you can actually put your shower mixers as you open your shower door. That's a thing. I've seen it in some hotels. It's actually good, especially if you want to test first the water, if it's like, is it hot enough, or if it's too hot, or it's cold. You don't get wet right away, so you can
So it's like on the side. Yeah.
yes, that's possible. Of course, though, That would depend on the size of your shower as well,
Mm-mm.
because then you'd have to be able to operate that and at the same time be able to test the water. So you have to, like, the reach should also be taken into account. So we cannot give you specific dimensions or standards because again, it would depend on the size of your shower.
Mm-hmm.
So but you can do that, but you just have to take into account that, of course, the plumbing here, if you move the mixers to the side, there will be a longer pipes, right?
Mm-mm.
Because the shower is in a different area.
So I think that's something we should consider along with our ano, the master plumbers.
Yes, yes, actually. So let's go with brands also of faucet. Let's say for the shower in particular, because just so you understand how to build, in a way, how to choose your faucets. It's not always gonna go in a set. So what if you want to have different controls? First, everybody knows what a shower head is, right? So that's usually your normal. And there are different types also of shower head. You can have, like, the regular shower head where there's like a projection there. There's also shower heads that are large. It can be circle, it can be rectangular. There's even one that has Bluetooth speaker on it. I
Are
haven't
we
tried that
talking about the new
color.
waterfall and
Yeah,
stuff?
and there's also waterfall type that, so there are different types of shower head. So just to give you parts of, like, the shower fixtures, and then there's also hand showers.
Mm.
So usually that goes along, especially if, let's say, you don't have a multi-point water heater. That means you only have your shower is the only water that gets warm or hot,
Mm-mm.
and your sink doesn't, it's just
Ah, okay.
regular, whatever comes out of the faucet. So if you use a single point, usually you already buy the whole thing, and there's a attached shower head, hand shower, sorry, that goes along with that.
Mm-mm.
And then you have the one on the bottom. That's usually a tub faucet. Here in the Philippines, normally a lot of hardware sells this as a set. So it can be, all these three. Some only have an option of just the shower and the hand shower. But if you're not sure, of course, ask the hardware people there. But at least it's good for you to know what's on the market. And there's also concealed versus the one that's
Oh
exposed.
yeah.
So the
Mm-mm.
exposed, definitely that's a set because it's like a whole thing. You can see the pipe basically going from the one below, the faucet below, all the way to the shower head.
Mm-mm.
And it's like a set. You just basically put it on. And then there's also concealed. I usually go for concealed because I haven't had any experience anyway of having trouble with maintenance.
Mm.
That means you don't see the pipes, you just see the shower head, the
Mm.
shower mixers, and of course the hand shower and the maybe a tub faucet. If again, we usually use pails.
Yeah.
So even though
The
a lot of Filipinos
timba
do,
at tabo.
yes, the timba and the tabo. So if you really need to use that, of course, if you don't want to, it would be better not to. But if for whatever practical reason you want to use that for cleaning or what, I use hand shower to clean. So, but if you're like somebody else is cleaning and you want to make sure that your fixtures don't get
Mm-mm.
broken or something, you can use that tub faucet.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, what do you need to know about if you have all that? And you can actually add body sprays also. You have to, yeah, it's quite
An add-on.
complicated. It is, but the body spray, it goes like you can position it to the side. Those are like other shower heads so that you feel like you're in a spa.
Mm-mm.
So if you want like a luxurious master bath or your bathroom, right? So you'd have to have controls for each of that, and there are different controls. So there are those that you can just like practically push, and then it already has a icon on it, so it shows like it's a shower head, the one on top, or it's a hand shower, or it's the one in the bottom, or even for body spray. So there's like those kinds of controls. And there are those that are like you twist around. So you have to see like how many like turns, if you call that, right, does it do. And that means, let's say it only has two, that means you can only do two functions, shower and hand shower, right? Or the shower and the like the one below, the tub faucet. But if you're adding other stuff, like again, all that, the hand shower, the bath spray, you need to have all those functions together. So, otherwise you won't be able to turn it on. So, yeah, it's quite complicated, but again, if you want something luxurious, or better yet, ask your designer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, leave the problems to us.
Right. So, let's go to the next one.
So next, it's water puddles. So what do we mean by water puddles is when you see those
When you're
puddles of
cleaning,
water.
yeah, basically, or even when you're taking a shower,
Yeah.
mostly it's taking a shower, right? Because you don't like wet the floor anyway when you're cleaning your hands. So when you take a shower and then the water does not go to the drain. The water goes like to the side, or
It's just there.
it's just there. There's a small like water puddle there, and it's very annoying, especially if you clean your bathroom. I hope you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's harder to clean because it doesn't go straight. So that's actually wrong execution, because okay, you need to have drains, two drains at least, one for near the toilet and one for the shower.
Yes.
So that is separate. And let's say coming from the bedroom, going to your bathroom, you have, well, if you don't have any senior, of course, or disabled persons, usually have at least a step down, which is like 1 inch step down from
yes,
the.
or we can design the thresholds for the door.
Also, yeah. And so step down from the bedroom to the toilet
To the
area, and then
bathroom
another
floor.
step from the toilet area to the shower area. And why do you do this? Of course, so that the water won't overflow and go to your bedroom or go to your toilet where you don't want it to be. You want to contain basically the water where it should be. So okay, again, regarding execution, in terms of how will you know if your contractor did it right? There's no other way. It's either you do the marble test where you
place a ball and then let it fall where it should fall.
yes, so it should fall, of course, to the drain, right?
Just to test the slope of
But,
the
but
bathroom.
the best will really be like when you have the water, you have to like turn it on, check everything. Does it work? Does your all the controls work? Does the water get hot if it should get hot? Are there leaks or anything? Those are the things. Those are actually very important things. So don't just look at how pretty it is. Of course, it should be, but functionality, because maintenance, especially for bathrooms, is quite difficult because it's a wet area and you want to be able to, easily clean it.
Yes, we
Right.
want our bathrooms to be one of our tranquil spaces where it gives you
Correct.
peace.
Yes, I have candles in mine. Anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the drain, the linear drain versus the center drain. Okay.
What's a linear drain and what's a centered drain? So, a linear drain is a drain that's like at the edge of a wall, or it looks like a
Rectangle, basically.
Rectangle, yeah. Central drains are the ones that we usually see in bathrooms where it's like a square and there are holes on it.
Right.
Yep. So that's the difference.
Okay. What issues have I seen? Personally, I haven't used a linear drain. I mean,
Maybe you should
used it in
explain,
projects.
Miss Jas, what's
Yes.
under, why is it like a line, the linear drain, or what's under that rectangle?
Yeah, actually. Okay. Under, if you open the,
If you lift that
if you lift
thingy,
the rectangle stainless thing, there are designs. It's either like there are holes on it so that the water will go there, but it still goes again. That's not like all drain. It still slopes to a central drain, to like
So basically, it's just a hidden central drain.
Yes. That's basically
That's it.
I've heard though, unfortunately I don't have any experience yet, that sometimes some people have a hard time cleaning that, probably because it's like long, But then again, you have to clean your drains every so often, right? Don't leave it like clogged with dirt and whatever
Or
hair.
hair.
Yeah, because it will definitely clog your, maintenance is important. So don't just let it be, right? Okay.
Yep. So I think for our water puddles issue, the takeaway here is that one, we should check or make sure that our construction during construction the
It's
slope
done. It's
it's
done
done
right.
proper, the slopes or is done properly.
And I mean, we're talking about floor slope. We should also actually talk about the slope for those niche. What's a niche? It's like a ledge that's,
Where you put the shampoo.
yes, and it's like depressed. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Inside your wall. So basically, so it looks clean. I mean, I hope you know this, guys. You have this long ledge that's not protruding. It's inside the wall that can house your toiletries, and of course, when you use it, it doesn't get wet that often. But when you do your cleaning and you put water there, it still has to have a small slope because you don't want the water again to, like, have a hard time, like you have to wipe everything down like that. So it should, like, slowly slope down, just a small slope. I think that's like 1 degree or what, and then going to the wall and going down to the drain. So yes, consider that.
So let's consider slope, a smart decision on our drainage,
Right.
and of course, let's maintain it regularly.
Oh, yes. And in terms of maintenance, let's also talk about shower enclosures. You know that glass is actually hard to clean. It looks good, but it's hard to clean. Okay, how do you prevent hard water issues? I mean, aside from having a filter, right? Like for the whole house thing, which, truthfully helps you, because before, like, I've only done that last year because I never had the general water filter, and then I was like, sometimes there's maintenance, and then my nilad closes everything down, and then when you open the water, it's so dirty
water,
and it's like, right?
Anyway.
And then it clogs what? It destroys your appliances,
Yeah.
It destroys your shower fixtures. It clogs the little holes there that you need to clean, which, who does, like, cleans it one at a time? You just brush it, right? So
Yeah.
so if you can afford it, it's not actually that expensive. Get a whole house filter. So that means your glass would have hard water stains, and sometimes not just the glass, also your shower fixtures have hard water stains. So how do you maintain that? There are lime scale removers. Look for that. You can find it in any grocery store or hardware store. So look for lime scale removers and remove that. For glass, those solutions that they use for the car, that's like makes the glass kind of bead up so that it doesn't stick to the glass.
I see people use squeegee. No,
Well, of course, yeah, the squeegees. But if you have that, at least to protect the glass, especially, it's brand new, let's say. Of course, if it's not, then you'd have to clean it first before you put on that protection.
Yeah.
And you have that glass protection, you would have a much easier time to clean that. Oh, trust me. I just do the squeegee all the time, every day. Even if it takes, 2 minutes or less, it still builds up. If you have a hard water, it still builds up. I've already changed my shower head because of the buildup for several years. But I've been living in my home for 14 years. Wow. So that's not so bad.
I think one thing also, and I mean, I think not only with hard water it happens, the one with watermarks.
Yes. Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think one thing you can also do is to dry them. You just wipe them.
Actually.
Simply
Well,
wipe
really,
them.
really dry them. That would, but who does have the
When
time
you have
for
the
that?
time.
If
When you remember.
Who has the time for that? So anyway, we're giving you solutions.
Hopefully
on
you
how to do it.
remember.
Oh, and yes, we almost forgot the color of your
yeah.
fixtures.
That's more
Um,
prone to black colored
yes,
fixtures.
darker colored fixtures will always have watermarks, unfortunately, and same with tiles. So it will
Yeah,
have watermarks. Again, if your water isn't, filtered,
the cleanest ever.
yeah, like
Mm.
I'm not telling you to put distilled water, but on your whole house, but to have a regular filtration. I actually only have two because I told my plumber that I didn't want to. I just wanted to get like the general dirt, so it's only a two stage filter rather.
Mm-mm.
So the first I think gets out the big particles, and then the second is like the carbon thing. I forgot the name, but so it's actually two stages, but it definitely, in terms of washing, your body, your skin, it
Mm-mm.
really helps actually.
So it's
In
refreshing
terms of,
also.
yes, in terms of your skin. Sorry, I mean, this is like out of topic, but so much difference. Like from before, like I feel like our water is so dirty.
Is it sticky, malagkit? Mm.
Hindi naman, not really, but yeah, I can tell the difference. It's like my
Mm.
skin looks better, even if let's say I don't change I mean, I've done some additional skincare, but it really helps. So if you can do it, right? The reason, by the way, why I only asked for two-stage water filtration is because I didn't want the water pressure to go down too low, because if it's like super 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 clean, you'd only want that at least for your drinking water. But then you'd have to have a pump, let's say if you have two floors or higher floors, so otherwise the
Mm.
water won't go to your shower and you won't be able to use it. So yeah, anyway, so I think we're on our last, right?
So it's just general design
Oh yeah,
oversights.
right.
So one of them is lack of storage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So sometimes, not sometimes, but we need space for our cleaning materials like the
Right.
toilet brush or your,
Skincare also,
oh yeah,
sorry.
for the toiletries, your
Yeah,
skincare, you need a
right,
cabinet or some place to put them.
right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Speaking of this, I know it's like out of topic. Don't put perfume in your toilet. Don't,
Because
because it has different. You get humid. You get, so I don't.
anyway, we can store them
Yeah.
in
Don't store it there. Store it in your like
oh,
bedroom. Actually,
the
I put
perfume.
mine on a display. Also, be careful probably of your skincare.
I think we have to read the
Actually,
instruction
yeah, yeah.
where you should keep it in cool, dry places.
Yeah, yes,
And then,
exactly. But for me, it's better, really. Although honestly, I put my my skincare on the sink
vanity area.
vanity, but the not a separate vanity, just like
Ano?
near the sink.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I'm trying to,
Maybe we should put them in like sink cabinets inside, of course.
yes,
Also, our
have some organizers there.
mm,
That's why we do a lot of mirror cabinets now, because practically speaking, well, I don't know, maybe I just like a lot of skincare. You'd have a lot, right?
yeah,
You get
you
to, you get to accumulate stuff.
yes.
So, I mean, we don't want to, but it happens. So, it's good to have proper storage, right? I've seen one that in one of our suppliers that's actually so cool that you could actually put your hair dryer.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all
it already
there.
has a hair dryer in the set.
Yes, and then like you have the LED mirrors, you open that and then
Mm-mm.
everything's there. You have your magnifying glass. Oh, it's cool. It's of course you have to pay a little more for that, but it's like it has all the organizers there. It's like, oh my god, it's like a
Yeah, it
dream
has
mirror
everything.
cabinet.
All you have to do is install it. I remember that.
Right, right. Okay, what else? Aside from storage, hooks and towel bars.
Yeah, in hotels specifically, there's never enough hooks or
Right,
towel
right.
bars.
Yeah, even in your home, right? You need to have one. I mean, like I don't know with you, but I reuse at least my sleepwear, or let's say I
Yeah.
hang it before. I don't just use it one time then like wash it in it. So have those hooks, have your towel bars,
Yeah, they
and
just to help you, not get your towels or your clothes wet.
Right. Oh, lighting is very important, especially for your mirror area.
Yeah, I think a lot people miss that out.
Right.
Lots of designers.
Because okay, what's the standard? They put something in the middle of the shower, middle of the toilet area, and
Middle
then
of
that's
the
it.
room,
Yeah, middle
even.
of the room. It's like you have to have your light. If you don't have an LED mirror, you have to have your light near the mirror. So how far should that be? Unfortunately, it depends on your lighting fixture that you're gonna use.
Mm-mm.
So we
But
can't.
let's go with downlights.
Yeah, let's say if it's
The
downlight, you have to have at least like what, 4 inches probably away from the mirror, something
mm,
like that. So center of your, for example, center of your sink. So and then let's say your mirror is here, so it's just like 4 inches away from that. If you have a downlight, you can actually put wall sconces also,
mm,
but again, you'd have to consider if you do your makeup on your bathroom sink, you have to consider the quality of your light because your makeup would differ if you do it, especially let's say at night, and then you don't have like sunlight. That means the color rendering of your light isn't that good. When you go out, it's gonna look different.
your color pink is different color pink.
Yeah, so when you think, I was like, oh, and then you go out, it's different. So it's really the quality of your light is actually really important. So yeah, look for 100. Well, not necessarily 100. 90 to not one. Okay, the standard, the best light is really the sunlight, and that's 100 CRI or color rendering index. Get at least a 90 onwards, higher or higher, and that means because in the regular hardware you only get 80, so you have to go to special lighting stores to get better CRI.
Or you could just put a window in the bedroom.
Yeah, but if it's the
I'm-
morning, but if it's night and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're doing your makeup, let's say you have an event, right? Then you're putting on your makeup, and then you when you go out, you thought it looks so nice, then you look, why does this clash with my clothes? But or hire makeup, hire a makeup artist. Okay, another one, slippery or impractical materials. Yes, actually, in terms of
The
the
floor. We specifically use non-slip
non-slip.
tiles.
Yes, even if you're young, there's still a chance for you to if you get glossy tiles, that's like not advisable at all. You don't have to get like really really textured ones. Just make sure it's non-slip. And ventilation issues. Oh yeah, because it's so humid here, right?
Yeah.
So what does ventilation mean? That means hopefully you have a window in your bathroom.
Yeah, and if you don't, at least have an exhaust fan.
Right.
Yeah, one for
Shower area, definitely.
yeah, and place them in the shower area. Why? Because if we keep our bathrooms wet, it's only gonna attract bacteria or germs.
Yes. So if your bathroom is small, you can place it in between the shower and the toilet. Usually people think that the exhaust fan is just for, the smell when you use your toilet. But no, it actually would help also in the shower, especially if you have hot water and, are changing seasons. It's really good to have a separate one if you have a bigger toilet.
So really, it's
Ventilation.
best to keep your bathrooms dry. That's the purpose.
Yes. Clean your bathroom.
So after talking about all of this, I think it's really down to everyday use. So
Yes.
that's something that we really have to consider when it comes to
It's really
using our
details.
bathrooms.
Yes.
Yeah,
How
so
you use your bathroom, who's
Yeah.
gonna use it.
even if it's such a small space, it's such a detailed
Right.
design.
You'd think that, oh, this is just like easy, you slap on tiles and buy the whatever hardware you like, and then that's it. No, it's actually quite complicated. Because of course, by the way, you have to waterproof your bathroom, especially if it's like on higher floors, because you don't want them to be leaking.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I think this is all our
For our
for our episode now about our bathroom design flaws and pet peeves, and I hope you learned a lot
also
from this.
the solutions, you've also
Right.
got some.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or any experience about your bathrooms, leave a message on the comment section.
Yes, and if you need any more help, we can help you. Send us a message and follow us here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. Thank you for joining us and watch us soon for our next episode.